Hello and welcome to DOS Nostalgia. I'm Anatoly and I invite you to the wonderful world of MS-DOS gaming. And it looks like the long-awaited Duke Nukem Forever finally risen from the grave and actually has a release date. And I thought that maybe it's time for me to take a look at Duke Nukem PC game history. So without further ado, roll the intro. The first Duke Nukem game was released in 1991 by the shareware giant Apogee. Here I have the second version of the game, which changed the name of the character to avoid a potential lawsuit from the creators of the animated series Captain Planet. Right from the start we're introduced to our villain, Dr. Proton, who wants to, what else? Take over the world.
Of course!
The game itself is much like many other EGA PC platformers of the time. It has styled scrolling and basic PC speaker sound effects, so nothing special here. You find the keys to the doors until you get to the level exit, and then there's a boss at the end of each episode. But what really made Duke Nukem fun is the skill of destruction. There was always plenty of stuff for you to blow up. Enemies in this game are Dr. Proton's tech bots. They include, amongst other things, robots of various sizes, helicopters, this thing, alien entities, and self-detonating energizer grenades. Then there are all those environment things that you can destroy to get bonus points, like destructible walls, energy fields, falling tiles, Dr. Proton's cameras that always keep track of you, and more. The power-ups are abundant. Some come in boxes that you have to shoot first, just watch out for the dynamite. Everything blows up in a fountain of colorful pixels, and high score reaches 6 digits faster than you can say piece of cake. Like many shareware titles of its time, the game is divided into episodes. You get the first one for free, usually from your local BBS, and then send out an order to get the other two. You chase Dr. Proton throughout the episodes that take place on Earth, Moon, and the future, and eventually destroy him. Although this game was probably my favorite platformer at the time, it's still not without its shortcomings. Basic PC speaker sounds can get very annoying after a few hours of playing, and tiled scrolling can get a bit of a pain in the ass in the more platform-oriented levels, which can get pretty frustrating after a while. And the free episode is easily the best one out of the bunch. But other than that, it's a very solid game with tons of action. It's not very hard, and it's really fun to blow stuff up. There isn't much for me to add here. It's a basic platformer, which is very enjoyable to play. And the one that I liked more than other Apogee titles that came out at the same time, say Crystal Cakes, for example. I used to play Duke Nukem all the time, but it just had this better appeal. Like somehow other platformers, too many of them felt like they were ripping off Commander Keen in some way or the other. Well, Duke Nukem felt like its own entity, and not to mention the really over-the-top, corny banter between Duke and Dr. Proton is very funny. Yeah, but what's the funniest thing I'd say is the fact that most people forget that that's where Duke Nukem started. Before the whole Duke Nukem 3D craze with, you know, toilet humor and violence and nudity and all that other fun stuff, Duke Nukem was really a little game for, you know, the whole family, I'd say, where robots blew up into a bunch of colorful pixels. Yeah, it's really weird for me to see that sort of curve. But you know, the spirit of Duke is there, and it's a great game. You can still buy it from the 3D Realms store. There is a link somewhere in the description, which I suggest you do if you don't own this already, or you know, if you want to try it out. As I said, the best episode out of 3 is the shareware episode, so which you can download for free as well from the 3D Realms website. See for a link on the bottom of the description. And this is it for this episode of Das Nostalgia. I'm Anatoly. See you next time, and thank you for watching.